Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Cindy.
Welcome.
Hi, Pop Art.
Hi, Pop Art. You're muted, Pop Art. For once in the world.
Yeah, you can mute me, of course, during the thing.
Well, Karla already told us all that we could.
Special
I'm gonna hide too because I'm eating.
Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
You come in, probably you come in without video, so if you want to go ahead and turn your video on, you certainly can. We love seeing you.
No pressure, though.
No pressure, no pressure. This is a no pressure event.
I'm going to put in the chat where I'm from, and if anybody else wants to join me there, that's a fun thing to do. We love seeing where everybody's here from. We've had people from the Netherlands and Germany.
Yeah. We should have a contest to see who got the most snow today.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is actually very true. If you want to tell us how much snow you got, because we're actually up here in Vermont where we're supposed to be the people who get all the snow. And I think we got less than everybody else that are further south. So
we had
true.
we had a snow megaton.
Yeah, I think the southern part of the state got more. We're in northern New York and we got maybe 6 inches, which for us is like a normal day.
yeah, exactly.
Cindy Dolgan, Cecilia, who's presenting, knows Debbie Youngelman from the Weavers Guild. Is Debbie here?
Welcome. Very nice.
Hi, Debbie.
Very nice. Hi, everybody.
So everyone, in case you're not familiar, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see the button that says chat. It looks like a little text icon. Go ahead and click on that so that you actually know what we're talking about, because we've been saying that people are popping in the chat where they're from. Some of you guys are telling us how many inches, 22 inches in Kingston. Laura just texted.
Wow, that's a lot.
But also it's a great way for if you have questions while people are speaking, you can just pop them into the chat. If we have time during their presentation, I will certainly ask those questions. And if not, we'll get to them at the end. So please do open up your chat. And again, we'd love to see your faces. If you want to turn your video on, we always love that. You certainly do not have to. It's just really fun to be able to see you. And a lot of times people like to show off a little bit of what they're wearing. Maybe you're wearing some of the artist's work. That's always exciting. And then just one quick thing, little technical info. If we have any major problems with this Zoom party and we need to shut it down, just look in your email, because we will be sending out an email with an updated link. So what we would do if we had to shut down the Zoom, we would just shut it down and we would resume in a new updated link. So that will be in your email as well as on the website. So you can just look for that and it'll be as if nothing happened, because we'll just pick up where we left off. So I think now that we have that out of the way, we may as well get started. We'd like to start off with a little cheers on this snowy day. So if you have anything, in a cup handy, anything that you're drinking, welcome to Art Party Central. Welcome to Tuesday night, snowy night, and cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers. Happy art party.
Happy art party.
Woohoo.
And thanks so much for coming tonight. It's going to be great. So I'm just gonna, we're gonna mute everyone. It's just Zoom protocol, so don't be offended. All right. So welcome everyone. I am Sam Stone, and I am, as I like to say, half of an awesome hat making duo up here in Vermont. And my partner, Nora Swan, is actually our co-host this evening. So Nora will be running all the background stuff, making sure that the party goes smoothly, spotlighting people. and helping with some of the muting in case that needs to happen, pop art, although we think that you're going to be great tonight. So Nora, actually, our website is swanandstone.com. If Nora, you want to just pop that in the chat. If you need anything at all, you can send a private chat to admin. So Nora will be under admin. But enough about us and some of the logistics. Tonight we are joined by 6 super talented, amazing artists. We're going to start the night off with Karla Gudeon from Karla Gudeon Art and Design. And then we have Amy Kanarek of Amy Kanarek Designs, Christine Evans, and then Cecilia and Richard from Frittelli Lockwood, Jill Schwartz from Elements, Jill Schwartz, and then finally Maureen Riley from PoshFELT. So let me just tell you how this evening's going to shake out. Each of the 6 artists is going to give a brief presentation followed by some questions that have been previously submitted. And also, if you do pop questions in the chat, that gives me a chance to kind of ask them some of those questions. Sometimes it's just clarifying certain things that they show us. And then at the end of the party, we will raffle off 6 different $50 gift certificates. So a $50 gift certificate to each of the artist websites. So that's 6 chances to win tonight, but you have to stay until the end to be a winner. And then we're also going to give you a special discount code at the end of the party, which will be good for all 6 artist websites as well as our website, swanandstone.com. And then at the end of the party, we'll just sort of open it up for a more informal, we call it the after party. It's a chance to kind of maybe see something that you didn't ask to see, something that maybe you didn't see in the first place, ask a question, or maybe we'll also be sort of filtering through or looking through the chat to find some questions that maybe were asked and not yet answered. So that's sort of where we leave a little time at the end to do that. So if you want to stick around and ask some questions at the end, please do so. Okay, let us get to the fun stuff and the reason that we are all here and start talking to some of the artists. So we're going to start with Karla Gudeon, one of the Art Party Central founders. Take it away.
Hey everybody, I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight and so proud to be a part of Art Party Central. I'm Karla from Karla Gudeon Art and Design, and I design artwork to hang in your home, to give to others as gifts, and also a line of gift items of my design. A lot of you are repeat, so I try not to do too much repeat of a backstory, but I do think it's important to understand how I make my work. And most of my paintings are hand watercolored etchings. So each piece starts off with a metal plate. This is actually the magnesium carving of the painting that's hanging behind me. And from the metal where the black ink goes in, I make a print on my press. And this is what the print looks like when it comes off the press. So I make a limited edition of the black ink outline. And then I go in with watercolors and paint every single one. So even my little ones, in effect, become one of a kind because they're all hand painted. And today, though, instead of focusing so much on my backstory, I wanted to share with you another important part of my life. And I think the timing's really opportune because I'm so excited that they have declared February 13th officially Galentine's Day. And I mean, the women in my life are everything from my friends to my carny friends to my sisters to moms. And it's just, and I think like many of you, we rely on this support system. So I think it's so great that there's an official day to celebrate Galentine's Day. This year in particular, I think we leaned on our friends for the love and affection that make our support system. And I in particular leaned on my Art Party Central friends to tell me if I had anything in my teeth over Zoom. So I wanted to share in particular some of my women-centric pieces in the collection, some that you can find on my website, and some that you'd have to actually email and get in touch with me for a private Zoom or FaceTime, because I'm pulling some things from the archives that I'm really proud of that aren't always on the website. So this piece in particular I love because it's called Sisters, and it could be your metaphoric sisters, meaning the friends in your life, or your actual sisters. And again, because of the way I hand color each piece, this can be custom ordered with custom order hair and eye color, and even a personalization. And then another really fun one that celebrates women friendship that I pulled out of the archives is You're Never Alone. And on this one, I think it's so much fun, the two women together. And I like to say, you know, for my friends that this represents, that I get to be the one with the lampshade on her head, and you have to have the fruit on your head like Carmen Miranda, because I don't know, I just claim the lampshade girl. And I do love the alligator purse too. So I wanted to share that. And another thing about Valentine's Day is I think we as women, we don't go wrong with our gifts. Like some of the, by the way, they all come with chocolate because, yeah, we're giving Valentine's Day gifts. They have to come with chocolate. Some of the good gifts are things like, even, you know, if you have a bunch of women you want to give to, a Here's to Strong Women notebook, it's lined, it comes wrapped, and you can do it as a single or as a double set with Force of Nature. I collected before this, people that get my newsletter know this, I asked some of my friends for their worst Valentine's Day gifts ever. And some of them were cleaning supply disguised as a household gadget, a hair trimmer, really, that was a real one. Somebody gave somebody a hair trimmer for Valentine's Day, a flower bulb that needed turning and watering every day for a busy woman, bath salts for someone that did not have a tub, and the significant other should have known she did not have a tub. And then the most popular one was super uncomfortable lingerie. So girls, we can do better than that. And we know we're going to send our friends things they want. So another thing would be the Strong Women coaster set, which comes with Frida Kahlo, Dolly Parton, RBG, and Michelle Obama. Or you can even get them as individuals, and they come in an individual gift wrap, and gift wrapped also with the chocolate. We have got note cards. This is 5 empowering message, Here's to Strong Women note cards. And then we've got kind of bawdy ones, kind of naughty ones. And this one, like the opening one is delicate, and then it says as a motherfucking flower. So that's for the strong women in your life. In terms of the little ones I have as gifts, oh, one more from the archive that I'm really proud of is this weird bird-headed queen called She Who Must Be Obeyed. And I think that's a great message for a friend. But the same one, this is on the website that might fit, is the Queen Bee, which is another great choice for Valentine's Day. We've got Force of Nature, because which of your friends would not want to be called the Force of Nature? Or the great quote from Shakespeare, and though she be but little, she is fierce. Another great, this for a best friend, is One in a Million, or the world is your oyster. No matter how old you are, it's great to have this outlook that the best is yet to come. I just turned 60 and I would love getting that. And then you got Girls Night Out, Besties, and all these little ones that I'm showing you, you can choose between the gold, the mahogany, the white frame, or they also are all available with what I call a signature frame, which is a little bit of clean, modern look. And this one is It Takes a Village, people, because it does. And that's just because I like a good pun. We've also got Owl Be There. Do you have any questions for me, Sam?
Of course I have questions for you, Karla. Not the least of which is you just showed us a whole bunch of your little ones, which I love, and I have many. My daughter has some, my mother has some, my partner has some. I love them so much. So do you have advice to give on how to best present your little ones, how to group them, where to display them?
Yeah, because people think they might get lost, and it's the opposite. They pack a big punch. They work really well on their own or as a grouping. I love finding nooks in the home, a wall that you didn't realize was kind of empty and sad between two doorways maybe that needs a piece. Powder rooms and bathrooms are perfect. I also love them because they sit really nicely on little display easels. I even have them on the site, little wrought iron, and they're great on a display shelf. I really like them on the end tables next to my couch. I think it's a nice place to have art. You lean over, you get a remote, you get to see something much prettier than a remote when you see a little work of original art in that place. And I think, Sam, you have a great story of how your mom has them displayed. Can you just?
Yeah, I actually, I was just saying this at the earlier party, but my mom has a wall that is just so perfect because she has a couple of, I think maybe even 3 of your, because I've given them to her over the years, of sort of empowered women little ones, and they're interspersed with, of course, framed photos of her granddaughter and her best girlfriend and her daughter, myself. And so it's this really wonderful sort of mix and match, but it all looks so perfect together. And I think, I mean, you're right, they pack a big punch. They are tiny, be they, or what is it, be they be small,
and though she
although they
becomes
get
little,
small.
she is fierce. The bourbon hasn't quite kicked in yet, so I can still say it.
Right, they are, no, but yes, they are still fierce, even though they're small. But I have another question before we go. Can we still get things for Valentine's Day?
Not only can you still get it for Valentine's Day, you can still get it for the day before for Galentine's Day.
Okay.
And I'll be in the studio tomorrow inscribing. So for instance, for something like Besties, you can order it with your 2 names in pencil at the bottom, and it can be personalized before the glass is put on.
Oh, wonderful. You can even get personalization before Galentine's Day? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so your website is in the chat, and as everyone hopefully knows, or you will know later, we're going to send everybody home. We're going to be sending out emails later with everybody's website, so you'll be able to get back in touch with everyone. So, well, thank you so much, Karla.
Thanks so much, my Galentine.
All right, Galentine. All right, so we are going to move on to Amy Kanarek.
Hey, how are you? I'm Amy Kanarek of Amy Kanarek Designs Artisan Jewelry, and I design and create jewelry primarily using tiny glass seed beads. I'm just going to give you an idea of what I work with all day. I don't know if you can see them in the, but they're really small. These are the smallest beads I work with. They're about the size of poppy seeds. Anyway, it's really intense work and I love it. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my background. I have always been an artist, but I have not always been a jeweler. I started out in my young life, I just wanted to be Barbara Streisand, you know. I sang with my spoon, and I did end up working as a cantor. In fact, one of my congregants is here, Jackie, one of my former congregants. She has a new cantor now, but and in the earlier show, one of the women who taught in the preschool was here. So it's a small world. Anyway, so and I thought back though that I have been an artist making things, a maker for a long time. 20 years ago, when our daughter was a baby, I started making clothes for her. And so this is a picture of my daughter and me in matching outfits. And by the time she was 18 months old, there I am at my first little craft show with racks and racks of dresses. So I don't know, I just love to make things. I love to cook, I love to sew, and I love to make gorgeous jewelry. So I'm happy to be here tonight with so many talented artists. And I want to talk a little bit about Galentine's Day. Karla made the introduction, and first I want to say that none of us have to wait for anybody to buy us a gift, okay? We all have permission to treat ourselves and our friends. So I think a perfect gift would be a Karla Gudeon original with chocolate and jewelry. So with that in mind, I'm going to make some suggestions. For those who love, oh, you know what? I should put myself on the wide screen so I could see what I was doing. Ha! There we go. So for those who love dainty, these are my fun little hexagon earrings that double in December as dreidels. but they're can be worn all year long. And these, if you have anybody who would appreciate Hamantaschen, which are little cookies for the holiday of Purim in February. So there's grape here, apricot, and raspberry. Anyway, so some just cute little gift suggestions. But if you want to go with more drama, you can go for my triple hex earrings. These are Swarovski crystal with tiny matte glass beads, which I love. And I also want to show you my most popular bracelets. These are for the minimalist in your life. They're tiny, tiny beaded bracelets that can be worn as singles or triples, or you can wear a whole wrist full if you really want to go for it. So just some ideas. And I'm also excited tonight to share with you something new that I've been doing. I've been working with stones. And the piece that I'm wearing is a one-of-a-kind piece that is made from a stone called apatite. And it's got a lot more luster than what I think maybe you can see in this light. But it's kind of a really yummy blue-green. And I have encased it with tiny bronze, light bronze seed beads and hung it from a beaded rope. And this piece is one of a kind. So it just kind of created itself. I was thinking about how this piece happened, and it started out in this direction, and it had a teeny tiny little loop there. And I loved it, but there was just something that had to happen with it. So I just kept looking at it, and this just came to me, and I'm so happy with the result. Anyway, I hope you like it too. I'm going to show you a couple other new things. These earrings are labradorite and tiny Swarovski crystals and light antique silver beads. And they actually started as the circle on the back of this earring. You can see how different they are. But as I was making that little circle, I said, you know, what will happen if, and that's how a lot of my designs happen. I start with something, and then I look at it and think, what would happen if, you know, and then I go in a completely different direction. You can see that these two earrings really have very little to do with one another, but they started with the same humble little circle of beads. So I love it when that happens.
Now, Amy, can we find all of these pieces on your website, or is it better to contact you? Or
so it's always great to contact me. You know, don't think you're bothering me.
Right.
Call me or email me with a question. Trust me, you're not bothering me. But you can also shop on the website if you prefer.
Okay. So a lot of what you're showing us is on the website.
Yes, actually, I introduced this at the last one and said that it wasn't, but between 3:30 and now, it now is.
Wonderful, you get it done. So I guess we have a little bit more time. Can you tell us, because this is a big question, but what inspires your designs?
Yeah. So I am wild about color. When I see people standing in a group, like I look and pick out colors that sort of relate to one another in what they're wearing, or their eyes, or if there's a painting on the wall. It's like my eye is just drawn to the colors and how they relate to one another. So most of the time, color is the first element for me, and then it grows from there: texture, shape, and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was just about to move on, but there's a question that's just popped up. Do you sell just the gold rope for a necklace?
Oh, yes. In fact, you will see this piece. If you don't, just call me, or call me anyway. But yeah, and I customize. So this, you could order it in silver, antique
Right.
silver, yellow gold. Yeah, customized.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And again, if you have more questions for Amy, we will see her after in the after party. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. So next we have Christine Evans.
Hey guys, I'm Christine. So happy to be with you all tonight. I am speaking to you from Albuquerque to New Mexico, and we don't have snow here. We do get cold nights, but nothing like what people are dealing with on the East Coast at this time. I read recently that art can offer us solace during times of difficulty and struggle. And I thought about that, and I thought, well, whether we're collectors or we are art makers, or maybe even both, I feel that art can offer us both feelings to uplift us and to ground us. And I just kind of want to really appreciate all of that right now and what we're sharing with each other tonight. The kind of work that I make is ceramic figure sculpture, and I have been working in clay now for about 20 years. I focus on celebrating and showing the beauty and the power of the feminine spirit. I'm very influenced by nature, and you can see numerous elements from nature like trees and flowers and so forth in my work. I also, when I'm working on a face, like whether it's a face on a full figure or on a bust, something really magical happens when the features start to come together. When the eyes and the nose and the mouth start to look more and more realistic, I start to see a whole new persona emerge, a new character. I do use anatomical reference guides like magazines and books, and I also use plaster skulls even for guidance and for inspiration. But every figure, every face that I create is brand new. It's not true to life. It's my own creation, and it's in that I find that's what's most exciting to me as a sculptor. Is it's almost like meeting a new friend when I create these pieces. My goal is to sculpt faces that elicit feelings of joy and wonder and peacefulness, various powerful states of being, because I found that collectors who purchase my work, they like to be reminded of these states of being. They like to have these visual reminders in their homes that speak to them, speak their language. So what I'd like to do now is get the camera a little closer to these pieces so that you can see the details.
Okay, so this piece here is called Inspirate, and that title comes from the word inspire, which with its usual definition can also mean to breathe in. And so when I was looking at this piece, I see calmness, I see contemplation, as if she's in meditation, breathing in. And I also used the tree for the symbols on this piece. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm going to get real close here so you can see the bark texture on her torso, which looks like a tree trunk. And then you can also see at the end of her necklace, she's got some leaves, which are variegated greens. These are made out of porcelain. And at the very bottom, there is the leaf motif. Trees play a part in making our planet breathable for us. So I thought that, hey, let's just focus in on breath. Let's focus in on being healthy. And that's what this piece addresses. This one here, this sculpture also has some leaves on her torso and on her wings. You can see that. And she is called Natura Garda, guardian of nature, of the wild. And you can see she has some leaves on her head as well. She is not an entire full figure, but like most of the full figure. And then on this piece here, I usually will add something from nature on my art. And if it's not directly like a leaf or bark or flowers, I'll abstract a form from nature, which is what I did with Meet Me at Twilight, which is the title of this piece. I abstracted the cup form that you often see in nature. Let me see if I can get a close-up of that cup. And you can see the interiors of these cups are lined with gold leaf, so they kind of glow and shine from within. And I think about the cup form like being on the tentacles of octopus, or like a tulip, or even like some rocks will form little wells inside them that rainwater gets trapped in. The cup or the circle, the container, that shows up a lot in nature. I've even put the cup form on her pedestal base here. And this piece actually was inspired by, the title Meet Me at Twilight was inspired by 18th century European gardens, in which they had private alcoves where you would see statues sitting on pedestals that are covered in lichen, covered in moss. She kind of has that slight green tinge to her. I'm going to go in a little bit closer on the chest so you can see the texture. Lots of tiny little splatters and spots make up the skin tones. And they kind of range from like a grayish green back in here and to these very subtle cream tones, but tons of colors. And then when you pull back, it just looks like overall skin color. But up close, it's very variegated and fun to look at. And then on the back wall, I have a tile, a wall hanging that's been made in bas relief. And we can get a little closer to that a little bit later. Okay, Sam, do you have any questions for me?
I do. So first, well, the expressions on their faces are just absolutely amazing. And I'm loving watching the chat and sort of what people are feeling while they're looking at these pieces of yours. It really evokes so much feeling. You can, it's lovely. It's
That's
quite
I love hearing that. I love hearing
that. So can we see this piece, the necklace? Is that something that you can wear? Can you take that off of, now I don't, what is the name, Inspirate?
It's Inspirate, yes. Yeah, this is actually fashioned with a magnetic clasp in the back. So it comes right off the bust, and humans can wear it too. It's all made of handmade porcelain beads that I've rolled myself, and you can see some of the beads here are coated in black slip, and some of them have the 24 karat gold on top of that. And then at the base here, we have the porcelain leaves that have all these different little dots of greens and blues. And I thought it was particularly nice to have this sweater on from Kathleen's Ecologic Company. Shout out to her wonderful, wonderful cashmere sweaters. But I just love how the greens play off the fuchsia colors and fuchsia tones. But this is a little on the heavy side, but it's totally wearable.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I love the sound it makes. Music, jewelry that's music as well is just so incredible.
Right.
So there are a couple other questions, but we're going to need to move on to the next artist. So I've made note of them, and we want to ask you a couple questions afterwards. Okay?
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine. So our next artists are Cecilia and Richard.
Just unmuting there. Hello, good evening, everybody. How are you? We're saying hello from the snowy north of New York State. We're located in Saratoga Springs, which is north of Albany, and we got a nice snowstorm today. I think a lot of you can relate. So we feel like we're showing the right products for the season that's out there. My name is Cecilia Frittelli, and I am married to this wonderful gentleman here.
I'm Richard Lockwood. I'm the Lockwood half of Frittelli and Lockwood Textiles. I weave fabric, I design fabric, I do layout and cutting for garments. My principal activities are often involved with fabrics for custom garments and off-the-rack garments. But today, of course, our focus is on wearable accessories, which you can find on our website. And I'll start by referring to what I'm wearing myself, which is a lovely striped bamboo scarf, which is available on the website. There's another one over here that I'd like to show you that would be perfect for Valentine's Day. It's very, very red with some gray and black accents. And again, this is bamboo as well. In addition to that, there are a couple other accessories that I'm involved with, weaving the fabric and doing the cutting and so forth. This is called a roadster cap, and it has 6 triangular pieces and a firm brim, contrasting colors, a little button on the top, full linings, careful sizing. And the other style that we have is called a driving cap. And this is the familiar cap with a snap in the front and a brim. This particular one is a sort of an Irish Scotch tweed, again, fully lined and on the website.
And I was going to show you a few of my scarves. The one Richard's wearing, I think, is great for a guy. It's brown, black. What is there? Green and blue, cream. But here's, you know, traditionally a little more feminine colors. So this is bamboo again with that pretty herringbone. Bamboo is a great fiber for now into May, June, because it's an eco-friendly fiber. It's breathable. It won't feel like you have a heavy piece of cloth around your neck. It's very light and breathable. The other style that I like for this time of year is called eyelash. I'm wearing one in a color called Pool. These are all hand woven on our looms in the Saratoga Springs studio that we work out of. We actually have 5 different looms. So these scarves are woven on narrower looms, and we have shawls like the loom that you can see behind me. The wider looms are for shawls and towels. And Richard's loom, which is off camera, where some of my scarves are draped against it, is quite wide. It's about 40 inches wide, and he does all the fabric for the menswear and some of the women's wear pieces that we do. So these 2 styles are also available. These have a little eyelash texture, so they're called the eyelash series. Very light. You could wear these indoors and out and not feel like you have too much scarf on. This is another pretty one I want to show you in the bamboo for the season coming up. It's a sky blue. Very subtle. I don't know if it's coming across, but it's a sky blue on a silver warp. So all the people in your life that have those pretty blue eyes or gray hair, that's a great colorway. It looks great on blondes as well. And if you're not quite ready to give up or not quite ready to think spring, we also have wonderful velvety chenille scarves in stock. So these are really nice for really wrapping up. They feel soft, they're velvety. You can see they have a lot of drape. So they really feel great around the neck, great for men or women. Here. And then behind Richard are a couple more samples of the shawls that we make and scarves. What else was I going to show you? Oh, these just came off the loom. So I didn't even have a chance to actually sew them up into scarves yet, but this, I thought this would be kind of interesting. This is how they come off the loom. So we weave, this is probably 12 yards of fabric, and we weave it as a continuous roll. This one is called Dove. It's in the Songbird series. You can see it's kind of off-white and gray. This one is called Rose Finch. And this one is called Lovebird. It's a celery green, a little bit of periwinkle. And we have a whole series of stripes that sell really well. It's probably our best seller because the colors are muted, but they all go together. So they'll work with any colored coat or outfit that you want to wear it with. These will be cut into probably about 6 scarves altogether. So they get unrolled, pressed, sewn, unfringed, put a label on, and ready to go. But this is how we produce them. So we don't just make one scarf at a time, which really would not be very efficient. We make quite a few of a kind. So that's kind of what we've been up to lately. And then we also have some samples of, yes.
So sorry, I just wanted to ask the Lovebird series, what material is that? Is that the
Oh,
chenille?
sorry, that's a chenille, and tencel blend. So it has, chenille's a velvety hand. I'll show you what a sample of what that looks like. So that's a chenille yarn. You can see it has a little bit of a pile on it, and that pile ends up being a velvet finish. Very easy to launder. You can hand wash it or you can dry clean it. That I have had customers come to the shows 20 years after purchasing a scarf wearing a chenille scarf. They last forever. They last a little too long as far as I'm concerned, but that's good. So we have a lot of happy customers with chenille. Then we also have tencel, we have bamboo. What else is up there, Rich? There's a wool. This is a Jagger spun wool. A lot of weavers think that if you're a weaver, you just work in wool, but that's not true. But we do have a wool line. We just don't do only wool. This is a linen. This is a really pretty linen blend. It's kind of bright in the camera, but it's a linen hot rayon blend. So it has little bits of the flax coming through, which makes it for a nice texture.
That's beautiful. There was also a question in the chat that I think has been since answered, but so there was the question of, are all of these scarves pretty unisex? So I was thinking maybe Richard, you need to come forward a little bit just to show us, because yes, they are scarves for men and for women. Yes.
Yes,
A nice man can look at a scarf, right?
I'll show you a great way for a guy to wear a scarf that is practical and also very handsome. If you just fold it, and our scarves are long enough, you can do this. If you fold it in half and bring the tail through the loop, it gives you a nice tight fabric around your neck to keep the chill away, and frames your face. Back up a little. You sit down right
Just
there.
one step back.
There you go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
one step back. There you go. There.
Fantastic.
Isn't that great over a lapel coat? You know, that is a sharp look.
Yes.
Nice.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Last night
Richard.
when the wind was whipping our northeaster, I was wearing one to go outside to shovel out.
Yes.
He's always the best dressed snow shoveler in our neighborhood.
Oh, I bet you are. Well, thank you so much, both of you. We will have a couple more questions afterwards, I think. So we'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So our next artist is Jill Schwartz.
Well, hello.
Hello.
I'm Jill Schwartz. It's really good to see you here. I had said earlier that it was my first time since it's Groundhog Day. It's my second time and I'm doing it again. So I'm really happy to be here and pleased to be invited. So thank you. I never get the opportunity to talk about myself. So this is I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I come from Great Barrington, Massachusetts, in the Berkshires, and we got 18 inches of snow. And my parents were both designers. One was a graphic designer and the other was an interior designer. And my mom was also an antique dealer, and my dad was a modernist and had a whole modern approach. So I was a perfect combination of the two of them. I do vintage modern. I also, everything that I do is vintage is a wide swath. So I can do mid-century vintage. I could do a timeless vintage. I could do a classic vintage, boho. And why I do what I do is I totally adore materials. I love the little buttons and etching. I love millinery and velvets. I love patinas. You know what? I am seeing that I need to straighten this out a little so that you see my things a little bit better. I studied graphic design and I also studied interior design. And I love putting graphics in my work and using vintage illustration, which you will see on the eye, which is right here. So there's a little vintage illustration in there. And I just like, I'm a collage artist and a maximalist. And I work by layering. And as you see, I layer things in display. And I like using things that are not meant for what I use them for, but to do that in a different way than you would expect and create an element of surprise. Interestingly, I also am very inspired by nature. I love birds. Birds have been talked about a lot tonight. I'm going to show you a few birds. This is a piece that has a bird image in it. If you can see the, am I showing it right? There's a little ombre ribbon in there. There's stones, which are jade, and there's coral. And it hangs, I'm not doing a very good job of showing, but you can see all different parts of this necklace and the bird. And then there's a little vintage Japanese piece, which is the leaf on the bottom. And then again, here's another bird, which is sequins and ribbon. As you can see, there's layered ribbons and a lot of rhinestones. I like to do things that have an earthy quality to them and a patina and an age. So sometimes if I use old and new and I don't do one-of-a-kind pieces, I usually create a production line of pieces and do it a few times. When I don't think that something looks antiqued enough, I have my ways of creating it through paint or different dyes, and I just create things so that it's not, I call it earthy bling, because I do like a little shine to it too. I'm also really well known for my display. When I'm at a trade show, and as you can see, I tried to create that here. I take parts from all over. This is I found this beautiful velvet necklace stand, and combining it with birch. And so that's kind of what I do in my life. I layer things and create things as a collage that work together and shine and make materials look different than they are. These are these resin leaves I found, which I totally adore. And I found this vintage glass, red glass piece with a little rhinestone. And then the top is also glass. And there's also a semi-precious stone. So it's really whatever works. When I create, I might pick up a material and then pick up another material and just start putting things together. I find that I could probably design 30 pieces in the process of designing, because when you put, for instance, here's a little mesh piece. I do hair accessories too, but there's a little mesh over the crystal, and if I had put a color bead in there, it would totally change the whole feel. So I go through a whole process where I'm layering things and pulling things out and putting something in, and it could change drastically just by dealing with one piece.
Jill, can you show us, someone was actually asking in the chat about the earrings that you're wearing.
Oh yeah.
Are you able to show us those? Are those on your website? And then also there was something else we wanted to see, but show us those earrings if you could.
Okay, I also need to tell you that I can't respond in my chat because my computer's too far away. So
Oh, right.
anybody
Okay,
else?
we will let you know.
So,
oh, those are amazing.
So there's an enamel piece, if you can see in the top. I wish, can you see that?
Yeah, no, we can see it well, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then there's glass and rhinestones, a little pearl.
Oh,
They're
those are
light.
great.
I love those.
So we can find those on the website, is that
Yeah,
right?
almost everything is on the website.
Yeah.
You can also email me, or I'm Instagram, I'm on Facebook. I'm better on Instagram than anything, but you could do that too.
So, and then there's a circular pendant with the long chain. Carrie's asking what is in the center?
The center.
And, I think this one that's on the green.
Yep, right,
Yes,
this
yep,
one.
Yep.
This is, as I told you, I love vintage.
Yes.
So here is this. I also love nature and
Oh, look
deer.
at that.
So that's a little, can you see it?
Yes, we can. And Carrie, who asked the question, says in all caps, yes, exclamation point, exclamation.
It's a
Yes,
really
we see it
sweet
well.
piece.
Thank you.
The other thing is you can double the chain, or you can make it shorter or longer because there's a super long extension.
Yeah, those are great. So I think we're gonna probably need to see a couple things in the after party, but because we're gonna need to move on to our final artist tonight. Thank you for showing us so much, Jill.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks a lot. So last, but of course not least, we have Maureen Riley.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Jamestown, Rhode Island. This is where I create my handbag and accessory line. I started PoshFELT in 2016, although I've been sewing all my life, but I'm a self-taught handbag designer. So when I lived in Maine, I did have a handbag store, and I started working with fabrics, just regular cottons and silks. I would go to New York City and I'd bring material back and I'd make bags with that. And then one day I discovered felt and I fell in love. And that's how PoshFELT kind of originated. But lately I've added to the collection and included cork fabric. And this season for spring, I have my new Posh Vegan collection. And I never thought I would be saying this, but I absolutely love the vegan leather. At first, I really wasn't sure what it was, but then I educated myself and I found companies that made leather-like fabrics using post-consumer products, i.e. Plastic bottles, apple peels, other fruit peels. So I was intrigued, and then last December I started my first bag and it just grew. This spring I just needed a ton of color, and this is what this fabric is giving me for this season. So without further ado, I'm going to show you my new tassel bag. Super excited. I created it a couple of weeks ago, I would say. Well, now we're in February, at the beginning of January. And just want to let you know that every single bag I make just doesn't happen. I make a pattern, I sew it, and then I fine tune it. I wear it, and there are certain aspects of it that I like. I wanted to change the look of it. I added a tassel, and I'll show you right now. I'm known for my unique mechanisms and hardware. So this is the new tassel bag, and this is right here is how you open the bag. It's actually a hexagon frame that I covered with the fabric. So you just open it up and it stays open so you can see everything that's in your bag. And it's ultra lightweight, and it's just got that fun tassel, just a little bit of bling. So I do want to show you, here is my own personal bag, and I'll show you what I carry. I love showing you what I make. So it's a double. This is my earbud case, or I use it for change. My eyeglass case, I always need my readers when I go out. This is my credit card holder, and what's really cool about this, it's got 3 pockets, so I don't know if you can see it. So you can easily get your credit cards, and I carry my business cards as well. Easy to put in your pocket too if you're just running into the grocery store and you don't want to carry your bag. And then my mask pouch, and I do have my mask in there. I don't leave home without it. There it is, right there. So what I love about doing what I do is that I get to create, I get to use different fabrics, and I get to use different mechanisms which play off my love of vintage bags, because I was a collector of vintage bags for many years, and I am always inspired by them. I love how they look. I love the ways they open. There's so many different mechanisms that were made in the 40s, the 30s, 40s, and 50s up until the 70s. So this is my take on vintage classic. So do you have any questions for me, Sam?
Yes, ma'am. So first of all, we just saw a bunch of really great bags in a bunch of different colors. So do you have all of those colors up on your website? They're easy for us to find, that sort of thing.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a one-woman operation. So once I make the collection and the fabrics come in, I get to sew it, cut it all and sew it. I take the photographs and I put it on the website. So they are definitely available.
Awesome, because there's a lot of love for all your different colors in the chat. So that's kind of great.
Well, you know, after last year, really, I needed a lot of colors. So that was the exciting part of introducing the vegan leather to my whole collection, or my company, is that I can have these like wonderful colors for different seasons, and it's just that pop of happiness, you know.
Right. Of course. So true. And I think I told you I wasn't going to put you on the spot, but there's a question about your scarves. So we need to see your scarves.
Okay,
Can you
sure.
tell us a little bit about your scarves? Because
you know, I can be put on the spot. I'll roll.
I know you can handle it.
So these are my I-cord infinity scarves. Now I love to sew, but I also knit, and throughout the whole year, I always am knitting. So one day I designed this, and I actually sold it off my neck, and that's been about 7 years ago. So I can't stop making them, and but I'll show you.
Well, you shouldn't stop making them because they're lovely.
They're fun. They just change the whole look of your outfit. I'm wearing a simple white top and jeans and clogs right now.
You just completely changed before our eyes. By taking off your accent color, you just completely changed.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put it right back on.
Right, so, okay.
So it starts, there are 10 separate strands, and then I connect them with just a simple rectangular ring. And that keeps them from flying around. And you see it's an infinity scarf, so it's one big circle. And then when you put it around your neck, you can wrap it and create a necklace. Then my dress form has it that way. Or a cowl and a necklace. Or I live in Rhode Island and it's ridiculously cold today. Normally I have it as a cowl. So that's 3 wraps. Do you see? It totally changes the look, and then you can put on a jacket. But there's a really fun way to wear this, and I'm going to show you. Everyone asks me when I wear it as a neat knot. So a neat knot is a twist. I have it around my neck, and I twist once, and then I twist twice, and then I put it around my neck, and I can adjust it to have an asymmetrical neat. I call it a neat knot,
Cool.
a little less, it's neater. as opposed
Yeah.
to a little
And
bit
so if we forget how to do that, we can just like call your cell in the morning and you'll just talk us through it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Okay, so I do have a video that
Okay.
I can send to everybody who forgets.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. There is
Well,
a
thank
video.
you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Maureen. We love all your colors. I think today especially we needed to see all of that.
Thank you.
So thank you. So, and thanks to all of the artists who came out tonight. This was really such a great party, so much diversity in the work that we saw tonight, and that's always really exciting. And I wanted to thank all of you who came to hear everybody's presentation and to learn about new artwork coming out, get a peek inside everyone's studio in a lot of cases. And we want to let you know that, I mean, hopefully, maybe you've realized this by now, but you guys are the reason that we do the work that we do. And showing up today and being a part of these parties brings us inspiration and hope and fills up our creative pools, which to us is pretty important in our lives. And again, I mean, I know I sort of keep saying this, but on a day like today with all the snow and even at our 3:30 party, it seemed so dark out. It's just so great to reconnect with people and kind of be here partying with everyone instead of freezing our little butts off at home by ourselves. I mean, I know most of us are still at home as it is, but we're not by ourselves. We are just loving having this opportunity to connect so much with you guys. And we just wanted to also let you know, sort of put in a little bit of a plug for Art Party Central, in that we sort of see you guys as our ambassadors because you get it, you understand what an art party actually is. Sometimes we ourselves have a hard time sort of articulating that to people. And we know that since we're still hearing from people, wow, I had no idea I was going to love that so much, that maybe we're missing something in the way we're saying it. So tell your friends because you know what it's all about, you know what it's like. And perfect timing, Marion saying another great party. So, and also if you want to help support any of the artists that you heard here tonight, a great way to do that is just go visit their social media, like them on social media, follow them, and tell your friends about the great work that you learned about here tonight. So I am not going to put this off any longer. we have 6 winners to announce. Each winner is receiving a $50 gift certificate from the different websites here. So when I read off the winners for each of the different artists, if you could just post your email in the chat. If you don't want it to be public, you can just email admin. So that's Nora, our lovely co-host. And so she's listed as admin if you want to just send her your email. But as I had said before, there's going to be a winner for each of the artists is giving away a $50 gift certificate. So without further ado, I am going to pull it up. Okay, so for, oh, and actually I forgot to say it last time, if you want to unmute yourself so you can hoot and holler and whoop it up every time I announce a winner, you may feel free to do that. So our first, the winner of Karla Gudeon Art and Design $50 gift certificate is Jean Isaacson. So we will be emailing out the gift certificates. So these are gift certificates you will be able to use on the artist website.
Woo!
So
Thank you.
Yay! The winner for Amy Kanarek Designs is Evelyn Leonard. Evelyn! Don't forget to give us your email. And for Christine Evans, we have Nancy Merriman.
Yay!
Nancy. All right, for Frittelli and Lockwood, we have Cindy Dolphin. And Elements, Jill Schwartz. We have Mary Sharp Davis.
Yay!
And finally, for PoshFELT,
Drum roll.
Cynthia Becker or Betcher.
Yay!
So great. So, and of course, we want you all to feel like winners. So we're sending you all home with, or again, I guess you're already home. We're going to give you all the coupon code for today's party for 10% off of all 7 websites. So the 6 artists who presented plus Swan&Stone Millinery. The coupon code is 22ARTPARTY. So we'll just put that in the chat. But again, you will be receiving an email. Everyone who RSVP to this event will receive an email with, again, the artists' websites, the coupon code. You don't have to remember it all, but I know you're all very eager to use that coupon code. So we'll just put it in the chat so you can see it, but it is 22ARTPARTY. So once again, I just want to give another shout out to my fabulous co-host, Nora Swan, working behind the scenes in a red hat. Beautiful bowing. And then on Saturday, Saturday is our next party. So Saturday's parties are 2:30 and 5:30, so the timing's a little bit different. We'll have Ayala Neftali Jewelry, La Fabrica, Merzada Jewelry, Crystal Codata, Nature versus Future, and Ecologic Clothing and Accessories. And Kathleen from Ecologic is another of the co-founders of Art Party Central. But anytime you want to know when the next party is or who is presenting, you can always go to artpartycentral.org. So we always have the upcoming parties up there. So I think I can speak for everyone here by saying that you all rock, and we miss seeing you in person, but this has been such a great way to stay connected. And so we're so thankful that you keep showing up and that we get to see you, we get to talk with you. And to that end, actually, we would like to hear from you. I know we've kept you quiet all this time, but there were a few questions in the chat that weren't answered. But if anyone has a question, you can go ahead and ask it now. If you don't feel like speaking, you can pop it into the chat still, but if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question. And otherwise, I made a couple notes of things that people wanted to know. Did anyone want to say anything? Nora, did you have any questions that you noticed?
I did notice one person asking, Maureen, what your scarves are made of.
So they're made out of acrylic. And then the reason why I do that is because they can be put in the washing machine. I put mine in a lingerie bag, throw it in the washing machine, cold water, take it out. And I don't put mine in the dryer. I just hang it on a doorknob, and within an hour it's dry. But if you're in a hurry, you could definitely put it in the dryer. I don't.
Cool.
Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
So because if I made it out of, let's say wool, it would be a little heavier and maybe itchier.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice and light, but it still keeps you warm.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Easy to care for.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Nora?
Not that I can think of. Sorry, I got distracted looking at all the emails for the people that won. So I had.
Oh, okay.
If you have anything, go for it. Or if anybody else has any questions.
Okay.
Yeah, let me think. Yeah, for Marie, for the bags, are some of those backpacks the ones on the lower level, or are they also?
It's not a backpack.
Uh-huh. It's like
A crossbody.
a crossbody. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the beautiful thing
great.
about this is that it's got a nice depth. It's compact, but you can fit everything, your keys, your wallet. It's got a pocket out here. I use mine for my mask, but you could use it for anything. And then my signature edge hardware for cell phone. Like I have a relatively new large cell phone and it fits just perfectly in there.
Clever.
So you can
So
grab it, but you're not showing it to the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love the colors. Yeah.
Thank you. And then again, the clasp, you just open it, and the nice thing is the bag opens all the way. So you can see everything.
So clever. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. All of it. I love the other scarf too, the greenish tones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the
beautifully
purple.
rich
Yeah.
colors. Yeah.
It's a great colorway.
Yeah.
Thank
Really
you.
great.
Thank you very much.
All of you were great.
Please.
Just
Oh,
all
thank
very
you.
different and all wonderful. So much fun. Just
Thank
so
you.
great to know about all of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'm an architect myself, but
Oh, wonderful.
my sister's a graphic designer, and I sent
Ah.
this to her. I'm not sure she was able to attend, but she'll come to the next one.
Well, you'll let her know when to come, right?
Right.
So I did have a question for Jill. Jill, you're gonna have to help me interpret it because I'm just trying to find you so I can spotlight you. Someone was asking if these are vintage sterling silver necklaces on the left. I'm assuming maybe, go ahead. Tell me.
No, there's nothing that's sterling silver. I mean, there might be parts that are sterling silver, but I think nothing in this display is silver.
Oh, okay.
I do use silver in some, but most of my things are have been like oxidized brass or vintage brass.
Got it. Okay.
I could create that though. I mean, if somebody wanted something and they wanted it to be silver chain, I could do that. I can't do all the findings in silver, but how's that?
Oh, interesting. So how does that process work? Do people make FaceTime or Zoom appointments with you, or do you just?
I can do a Zoom appointment. I've never done. This is my new world, virtual.
Right.
So yeah, I'm open to that. Or you can email me. You can go on my website. You can message me on Instagram.
Okay.
Call me. I'm easy. However you want it.
Okay. Fantastic.
Thanks.
And again, we will follow up with everyone. Everyone will get an email from us with websites on it. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask Karla, because this came up as well. Karla, can you show us your Frida Kahlo piece?
Yes. Hang on. I'm gonna get short. I sit on 3 stools, as everyone who comes knows.
Right.
Like the booster seat at the restaurant for the child.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, let's get back up. So this is my Frida Kahlo. And she's one of my hand-colored engravings, and she has the Mexican flame at the top. And she also comes as part of the coaster set. So this is the original watercolor, and this is the reproduction on the coaster.
Oh, beautiful.
I love Maria Callas.
Yeah. And as I understand it, as I have heard, you actually have a Frida Kahlo design on the custom fabric that you made for.
Yes, the custom fabric with the Frida comes in a tote, which is a collaboration with another artisan, Tough Kukushka. And then it also comes on a face mask, which is a collaboration between Swan&Stone Millinery and Karla Gudeon Art and Design. So they are sewn in Vermont by the incredible Swan&Stone, and the fabric is designed by me. So you can have a piece of all 3 of us, Nora, Sam, and I, with one face mask.
All 4, because Frida.
Yes, okay, 4.
Okay. Frida everywhere. Okay, well, thank you, Karla. So did anyone else, were there any other questions? I'm still like just looking through my notes. So Cecilia and Richard.
Yes. Beautiful. Those scars are gorgeous.
Yes. So there was a question, do you weave textiles for anything other than clothing, or is everything you do wearable?
I'm glad you asked. I just happen to have a little pile here of some fun dish towels. Now, who wouldn't love just a hand woven dish towel when you do, you know, the boring, tedious chores of drying dishes after a long day? Why not make it a little more pleasant by using a hand woven dish towel? These are on the website. I do real colorful, as you can see. And then this is called, what do you call this one? Richard designed this one. It's a little more subdued. We call this one weathered.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Very subtle, great for like a beach house or something. But these are made out of cotton and hemp, natural fibers. They're not that expensive. They're sold for $30, set of 2. Set of 2 for 60, so it'll be 30 each. But they'll last forever, and it just makes that chore so much more pleasurable. And then one other thing that we do that's not a wearable is the baby blanket series. There's a whole bunch of these, lots of colors, and we don't really do real traditional baby pink and baby blue. Kind of mix it up. We love plaid, so this is a really pretty plaid. This is something that a baby could, you know, a girl baby probably would use for a long time, not just as an infant, but a really nice little. So very soft. It's made out of chenille and cotton. It has a little satin trim on it, and great as gifts. People love to have handmade gifts for their loved
Such a
babies.
millennial baby blanket. I love it.
Yeah.
My niece just had a baby. She's 7 years old,
really?
little Avery Morgan.
Done and done.
Yeah, sounds like she needs an heirloom baby blanket.
It is
Down
today
to her baby.
for sure. Yep, there's a lot of little babies that are now, you know, in college that remember getting little baby blankets, so they will last for a long time.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you so much for that.
Sure.
So Christine, can I just, there's another question that, sorry, I'm just gonna, the tile on the wall, can you tell us a little bit about that tile?
Oh, yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to walk the camera back there.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
that
Thank you.
we can see it a little better. Yeah, this is part of a series that is currently hanging in the Gudeon Gallery in Santa Fe. The title of the series is called Metamorphosa. And what that refers to is the psychic change and like personal transformation. And if you look closely from the side here, you can see how far out the clay actually sticks from the back of the tile. It's got a lot of dimension, which is really fun because far away, it might look a lot more two-dimensional than it actually is. This is more like a medium height bas relief tile. And I use these ribbons of clay that swirl around her hair and are kind of on the side of her face to represent water and wind, which also alludes to that transformational experience.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad because we didn't quite get to it in the first place. That's really an incredible piece. Thank you.
Thank you.
So did anyone, I feel like I'm sort of taking over and I don't mean to do that. I just got to the questions in the chat. I mean, I could just keep going because we did have a question for Amy so we could see some of her, the more classic, sorry, I'm just going to you now, Amy, so I can see you. Can you show us some of these sort of, they're almost like, they feel to me like neck lace, literally, the way you do your beading, these kind of chokers behind you. What is sort of a signature piece of yours?
So I would say I'm going to show my hexagon piece is one of my signature pieces.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, these are beaded hexagons that are attached to one another. And there's a Swarovski crystal in the center. It's a very striking piece. I like it to be worn just really right on the collarbone. And it's very elegant. I feel it's regal. Yeah, there's that one, and there's also, I'll show this one in a different color. This is actually the one that I used. Oh no, I didn't show this today. Another chain that's a kind of a classic chain, but the colors are far from classic. So yeah, this is woven from glass beads and Swarovski crystal down the center. It's also just the kind of piece that you can wear. You could wear it with a t-shirt and jeans to dress it up, or you could wear it in the collar of a suit, or even with a little black dress. You know, it's a really, I think, very versatile piece. You do this in a lot of different colors.
Yeah. What is the color? Is almost like a purplish blue?
Yeah, so this one is hematite, which has been a really, it's not actual hematite. The color is hematite, which is, as you said, kind of a, I see it more, the screen is showing more purple than I think is actually there. There's a little purple in the crystal, but the beads, the glass beads surrounding it are sort of like a deep, dark, kind of midnight gray blue.
Yeah.
Very
Indigo.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Really beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks for showing us a few more pieces. I'm so glad we got to see them.
Thank you. Glad to show them.
Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. It is getting a little late. You know, you all have a long drive home to the bedroom, the living room, I don't know. But thank you all for coming once again. Thanks for showing up. We love to see you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the future very, very soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Great. I loved it.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye.
Red cat. Look at
Carrie with the best background.
Bye.
Valentine's Day.
I love your backdrop too.
Could be our Galentine too.
Yeah.
All the red. So cute.
Oh, so cute.
Valentine.
Very